finally make it to my neighborhood convenience store. Mans are marved, but I'm also ready to cop some munchies. I grab a beef patty and a tin, and I hand the man a toonie. You'll keep the change. He looks at me and says, $3. Inflation! Mans are shaking it. My mouth is parched and my belly is rumbling.
After COVID, a lot of the newer comics that came in, and not to shit on these guys because some of them are incredible, but some of the younger comics that came in, there's like a weird sense of entitlement now.
Please tell me you saw Joe's 1,000-yard stare, bro. Right. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Who wrote this? Let's expose this. Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't look like that, you weirdo. Yeah. And this is not... Sorry. I love y'all. Thank you for supporting. Once again, the Patreon is launched. If you do want to watch my comedy special right now, you can do so. It's only $10, and you can get it as part of the subscription fee. So, like, if you subscribe to the Patreon, you can get it that way, or you can just buy it outright for $10 that way. Once again, for transparency, I will release the comedy special for free on the YouTube once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So you can also just hit the subscriber button and just do that. You can support that way, whichever way you want to support. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that. I don't necessarily use it the way everybody else does, but I'm there if you want to find me. AKA Black Zeus is the person to find on those platforms.
Hey yo, it's Black Zeus, the podcast, season 5. Welcome to the show where we talk about life, talk about the come up, and sometimes we fight. But in the end, it ain't a thing, cause we ain't trying to be right. We're just old new niggas with another podcast.
It's a season 5, episode 6. Hide your bitch, cause nigga, we coming up in the room quick. We doing comedy, I don't rap, nigga, but I'm pulling the trigger if you make me. That was bad. That was all right to start, but what the fuck?
This is Black Zeus, the podcast, season
5. What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Black Zeus, the podcast. It's Black Zeus, the podcast, season 5, episode 6. Hide your bitch. I'm gonna be smoking weed again, so don't worry. Like, it's not gonna be like this the whole episode. God damn. I'm gonna actually be more professional this week because I have to be. I'm on a bit of a time crunch, and I'll explain why in a moment. But let's be professional first of all. Welcome back, beautiful people. I love you. Welcome. I hope you had a good week. Who's the beautiful people? It's the subscribers to this channel or to any of my wacky shit on this online social media fucking nightmare train. I love you. Thank you for subscribing. We don't beg over here. We got talent and patience. But if you want to join the crew, just hit that sub. Leave a thing. Do a thing. I don't fucking know, nigga. I feel weird begging. So just, if you like, do the thing, bro. And then you'll become a beautiful person. Right now, you're looking kind of ugly, my nigga. Anyways, I hope y'all had a good week. Let's actually promote some shows. It's March now. I hope you guys recognize that. That'll be a good place to start. Again, this is all going to be Southern Ontario, Toronto area. Where is my March shows thing? I'm so underprepared, bro. As much as I prepare, I don't prepare. There's March shows. March 1st, no point in promoting that. March 2nd, no point in promoting that. The 8th, I'm at the Comedy Lab, 8 and 10 on the 8th. The 12th, I'm at Comedy Bar West on the 28th. I'm at Scarborough Is a Joke. That's going to be fucking fire. I'm looking forward to that one. And the 31st, once again, my niggas, drum roll. Nubian Show, bitches. And it's Just for Loud Showcase, which is fucking hilarious if you've been paying attention to anything I've been saying on this podcast or online. We'll obviously talk about that more as we get closer to. But right now, I'm gonna start the show off proper. Normally, this would be the part where I'd be like, and Dante. But my nigga Dante is out living his life this week. So I have arranged for a special guest. All right? This is a comedy podcast. We're leaning all the way into doing the comedy shit right now. So why the fuck not have my comedy homies on this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Nick? Also, I'll try not to say nigga as much this episode for the person that was so polite to give me that constructive criticism. But before I bring my friend in, he's already represented in the studio somehow. If you're looking at the wide shot right now, like maybe in this vicinity, you've seen him in the room poking his head out from the corner of this shelf from a poster, maybe. But we're going to rearrange the cameras in the room, so we're going to do a quick cut, and we'll be back with my special guest. And with the magic of movie editing, man, that was some of the gayest shit I could have said. We're back. We're back. All right. With the magic of movie editing. What is this fucking comedy Disney Channel, my nigga? We're back, bruh. And I'm back with a very special guest, my friend, my dear friend. I think I've been knowing this my entire 13 years doing comedy, maybe just a little under. Once again, I said he's represented on the he's this bald brown man right here, pixelated like a motherfucker. Put your hands together right now. Welcome to the stage, everybody. Jesse Singh.
Yo, what's good, yo? Thank you for having me, fam.
Yo, don't
Appreciate
bomb.
No, I'm not gonna bomb. We just started, bro.
No, this is our handshake before. Yo, give it up for Jesse Singh, and then you say a little something. It's like, yo, kill it, bro.
Oh, appreciate you, fam.
Appreciate you, bro. It's like, yo, don't bomb, my nigga. How you living, Jess?
Chillin', bro. Everything blessed, fam. Yo, it's been fucking years since I've been back on this, so it's like I'm amped to be back, man.
You're one of the few people that have actually been on this.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I've been doing the whole Black Bill Burr thing for a while, the solo podcast.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to hear the history of the podcast, we're back cataloging all of it on the Patreon. So if you want to subscribe to the Patreon, it's AKA Black Zeus on there. It's right now, there's 2 tiers that are discounted. All right. So they're $5 and $10, but you can get them both for half price. And there's like limited seats for that. It gives you access to all the good shit. And then there's joke tiers above that if you want to support. Or just hit the subscribe and we will release the comedy special on YouTube when we hit 1,000 subscribers. Jesse, before we get into this, you want to plug anything?
Yeah, I've just released my debut comedy album, Baby Goat, available on all streaming platforms through Comedy Records. Shout out to Comedy Records. And we also got my short film is out now on YouTube, which we would really like to get people to view out, like check it out, Tales from the Mendem. Because, you know, the hope is the more people we could reach, the more we could pitch this to, like, you know, other networks and stuff like that. Hopefully turn this shit into a series. Because, fam, I'm telling you, this is something that I feel like has been needed in Toronto for a minute. And like there's a lot of culture behind like what we were trying to push and like the comedy and all of that stuff, as well as the production value. So like if people are on board, they like what they see, I would appreciate the support. Check it out. You know what I mean? Show some love, all that good shit. You know what I mean? Yeah.
My mistake also, because I did this episode backwards. Normally we have a good episode up front and then we're like, yo, go check our shit out. Now we really have to be like, yo, we're funny, bro. I promise.
Yeah. Now we're like, yo, trust me, bro. Trust me,
Yo, how long you been doing comedy now?
Almost 10 years. Well, like, yeah, basically 10 years.
Okay.
But it was one of those things where, like, the first 2 years is, like, you know what I mean? You're kind of finding your footing, trying to figure the fucking scene out.
Yeah.
And then you start putting, like, you dive deeper into it. So, 10 years.
Where'd you start, in Toronto?
Toronto, Absolute Comedy was my first ever set, pal.
You started in the easy room, you son of a bitch. I'm joking.
No, bro. You're 100% right, bro.
I'm joking.
No, dog. After my first set, I remember all my homies came out. And, like, if you guys have ever been there, it is a very hot room. So, like, people show you love. Like, you go up, like, what's up? Everybody, like, this guy's the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the host brought me up. They're like, yo, it's this kid's first time, whatever. So they were already on my side. And then crushed, and then, like you said, ate fucking shit for months after, bro. But yeah, bro. And I met you at Yucks, Mississauga.
Yo, I was just talking about Mississauga Yucks just the other night. Yesterday with Norm, Big Norm.
Yeah.
Bro, I love that club so much. It holds such a dear like place in my heart.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, I'm just realizing how many people I actually did meet there. Like, that was the club for me coming up.
Bro.
Like, that's where I feel like I first started getting a little nice on stage.
Yeah.
Between that and the weed rooms. You remember the weed rooms?
Yeah, like Vapor Central and shit.
Now, what's your honest feeling about the weed rooms? A lot of people didn't like them because they were hard. A lot of people aren't stoners either, right? So they don't get the dynamic.
I liked it because it was hard. Like, I wasn't a stoner either, but I think for me, it was one of the like the places where like I knew if I could get like even a chuckle out of someone there, I'm like, dog, I'm gonna kill at like a club. So like my goal was always to do well in the weed room.
Yeah.
Because I knew if I could do well there, you could transfer that anywhere else. You know what I mean? So that's what was, and it is a different skill set, bro. Like 100%. Like you need to learn how to fucking like, because someone who's high as fucks is gonna lose attention so quickly. So like you had to adapt to like cutting out the fat from storytelling, all of that shit. That's why I loved it.
And not even just that too, like the other side of it was the laughter part. Like that's I think what fucked people up the most. Like I still have this, somehow I don't even know where the fuck I got that Vapor Central towel.
Yeah.
Like why would Vapor Central be handing out towels? You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to figure that one out. But I got one and I'm so happy I do, because like it's like I just remember like the underground, Vapor Central, Vape on the Lake.
Yeah, bro.
Hotbox Cafe.
Vape on the Lake was crazy.
That
bro.
was like,
Imagine
bro,
an office chair.
That is where I really became a comic, which might sound weird.
No.
But it's because of
you.
the shit that you just said, bro. The extra the factors that were added on top of, we're already just starting out in comedy.
Yeah.
We're not good. So like we're just starting to get a little good.
Yeah.
They're high as fuck. They're mashing vape bags, volcano bags, just full of vape weed into their face. It's a very different environment that like if you didn't check your expectations going in, you'd probably feel like you were a shit comic.
Yeah, and you'd buckle. I've seen people buckle.
Oh, bro, I buckled.
Yeah,
like
bro.
even the times where I was like, "Yo, fuck this shit," and it's just another. Yo, you get that one like.
yeah, that's it. Your whole
you get like
confidence.
3 coughs in a row, like Vapor Central was probably the hardest one.
It was, to me, it was the hardest one because it was so fucking big.
Yeah.
But it was always packed. Like Vape on the Lake, sometimes there was like quieter nights, so like you could get away with the fact you're like, it was a dead room. But Vapor Central was like, if you're bombing in front of 100 people.
And you're being broadcasted on the TVs all around the fucking.
Yeah.
So Vapor Central is a long like attic. It's essentially like it's literally a head shop, like a weed shop in the first floor, and then you have to walk up all the way, like essentially 3 floors.
Yeah.
And then the top of the building was all Vapor Central. So they had a long club.
It was
The
like a
front of the
hallway.
room was all couches with the stage and the TVs, monitors, and the cameras and all that shit. But there was benches and booths and tables lined all the way down the place.
Bro, and even if you don't smoke, you were frost. Like, I don't even smoke. I was, bro, I didn't even smoke.
And
I was,
that nigga Jim,
Jim,
bald
bro.
nigga Jim.
Yeah.
There's this guy, bro. This guy's a demon, bro. He would sit at the front of every show, bro. But Mike Rita would have these shows, Stoner Sundays. Every Sunday would be like the just weed smoke and coughs and some tepid laughter. You know what I mean? Unless you were a beast and you were coming through there. But this guy would bring up his dab rig and deliberately try and fuck up the comics in the middle of their set. He had to stop doing it to comics that didn't smoke weed, but he used to do it to everybody at the
floor
beginning.
people, bro.
And in the middle of your joke, bro, he'd just walk up and then you'd have to do this fucking, or you look like a bitch.
Bro,
he's like,
there was a comic that came out of town who was like, who apparently said he smoked weed, and then Mike was like, bro, like, I'm telling you,
if
this
you
is
don't,
this
then
is different.
don't say you do.
And then he's like, nah, bro, trust me, I'm good. Man hit a dab, one of Jim's dab, and he greened the fuck out.
On stage?
I wasn't there. So what happened
If you don't
was,
smoke weed, greeting out is throwing up.
yeah, and he was just out, bro. The man like fainted. He passed out, and they called Johnny to come help pick him up because he was the only one with a whip. So the man showed up to the Vapors. He wasn't even on the show, bro. The man showed up just to save this guy. And but he was like,
my God.
exactly what you said. Don't walk in there and act like, fam, I could thump a blunt, no problem. Because they're gonna test you. Like, you know what I mean?
That's and that's honestly why I think that's why I was comfortable having a podcast for so long with nobody watching it.
Yeah.
That's why, like, all these weird little factors of like, oh, we ate shit for so long. It's like nothing on the internet is gonna faze me. Some weak little fucking internet troll comments and shit or whatever, bro. Like, I feel like we've already done what most people in life would never have the balls to do, and that's go up on a stage and eat shit. Not for one time, but for years.
For years.
Until you get good. Like, fuck a one time, bro. That enough is scary.
Yeah.
But to do it again?
Yeah, it's insane. But We were talking about that earlier too, bro. Like I was telling you, like for whatever reason, this was so fucking hard to me. Like getting in front of a camera and talking to the ether.
Doing
But
podcasting.
but when you broke it down with the open mic thing, it was like I remember literally going to open mics, signing my name up and not getting on stage till 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And no one's left. Like there's no one there in the fucking audience. You're talking to an empty room or servers that are cleaning up tables. You know what I mean? No one's paying attention. But you don't realize, because at the time you're like, what the fuck am I doing this for? And then it's not like a year, like years after, when you start actually playing a club, you realize you're like, yo, that whole like 2-3 years of me playing to empty rooms was so that I don't have any fear left. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not afraid of the silence, or I'm not afraid of like not knowing what to say, because I literally performed for myself. You know what I mean?
Like, you got to be crazy enough to see the vision through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you absolutely, like, I don't know. What made you get into comedy?
Fam, I guess it was like just a fucking like kind of like the cliche story. Like I was just like, I wasn't like the cool kid. Well, I grew up in Jane and Finch, right?
Yeah.
But I was always like, I wasn't like a nerd, but I also wasn't like a hood man either. So like everyone that grew up in my neighborhood needed something. You needed to be the athletic guy. You needed to be like, you know what I mean, a road
That's how
man.
we grew up. You had to.
You had to be something.
You had to play
bro.
play a role.
Yeah, some kind of role.
Life
bro.
is a team sport, bro.
So like I remember I wasn't good at, like I wasn't the most social kid, but I was always the class clown. Like I was always the one busting jokes and shit. And we used to do like sketches in high school, and like we used to do like little fucking assemblies and shit like that. I remember when they used to have like the school assemblies.
Yeah, definitely.
We would make little sketches. And I remember one day I was walking home from school. I talked about this story before. I was walking home from school, and these men were posted up just trying to rob us. It was like initiation type shit. We were like in grade 9.
Yeah.
And this man stepped to me, and he's like brushed me or whatever. He's like, yo, so what is it? And I got scared, but the man behind them was like, yo, allow that kid. He's pretty funny. And it saved me from getting robbed. I got robbed a week after, but that day.
They had no idea you were funny though.
Yeah, but that day.
You didn't have a vouch.
No, bro. I didn't have a vouch, bro. I didn't have a vouch, bro. But there was that. And I've always just been a fan of it, fam. Like, I remember literally being a kid, being way too fucking young to be watching like Chappelle Show or
That's
like Killing Them
yeah.
Softly, all of that. And I remember seeing it and like.
Do you remember what your first comedy, and not even a special necessarily, but what was the first
introduction?
like real memory of like 19 plus, like swearing and all that shit? Like, was it like a Martin Lawrence? Because back in the day, there was it a black comic? Was it a white comic?
It was South Park.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was my bro.
I don't necessarily mean, because I see how you took the question.
Yeah,
But I mean, do you remember what your first stand-up related?
Oh, stand-up.
Yeah, like whether it be a show, Chappelle Show, or whether, well, it sounds like you're earlier than that.
Yeah. I mean, like before,
like I watched the Carlin special when I was like 10. That's probably like the earliest where I'm like, how the fuck did I even watch that at 10?
I actually didn't learn about Carlin and Pryor until after fucking like I think I can't remember pinpoint the first stand-up. I don't think this was the first stand-up, but if you're asking the most memorable one, it would have been the Russell Peters Comedy Central, where he was wearing the white shirt.
White shirt?
Yeah.
That's actually Comedy Now. That's Canadian.
Comedy Now, sorry, yeah. And the reason why that one stood out the most was because I remember that was the first special that I watched with my uncle and my mom and them in the room, and I saw them laugh. But like I was listening to this guy's stories as a kid, and you're laughing, but you're also like, yo, my uncle and my mom find this funny. So it's like that to me was like if they find this funny, then I could make them laugh, like talking about the same shit.
How old are you roughly?
Like probably like 8 or 9, bro.
Yeah,
I was young
sense.
when that
Yeah,
shit
that
came
makes
out.
sense.
Yeah.
Russell.
Somebody
gonna get heard that one.
Or the Panani joke.
How
remember?
genius, bro. You know the story behind, like, that's obviously why Russell blew up. He still credits that. But like, still to this day, there's no one that's taken official credit. Like, people in the industry say it was his brother. People say it was him. People say it was a homie. Or people say it was a fan. But YouTube was brand new. And then he dropped that Comedy Now special, which is essentially like, if you're not familiar, Comedy Now is like Canada's version of the Comedy Central half hour specials, which they don't even do anymore here in Canada. But Russell did one. He chopped it up, put it on YouTube. I think it was like the first fucking comedy on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was that early on YouTube.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And millions of views, and like the rest is history, bro. This guy's
And I also think that was like after that, I don't even think there was any other Comedy Now segment that was as big as that.
no.
Like that one thing, like obviously it wasn't the one thing that blew him up, but it was the one thing that catapulted everything after. You know what I mean?
Well, I think he even says that is the one
Yeah.
thing that's because how is that not the one thing that blew him up if it's the
I
one
guess,
thing that
yeah.
catapulted him?
yeah.
I'm like, wait a second. You smoke weed?
No, I don't. But you can do your thing, bro.
You're not gonna be upset if I like this?
No, I don't care.
I just did. We'll do the comedy recaps in a second. But shout outs to Retro Haze. I just did a show to a dispensary grand opening. They paid us very well, so much love and respect to them. And they gave us weed that I'm about to smoke. This is a sativa. What is this one? This is lemon haze. So I got a sativa again, motherfuckers. All right, so I'm not liable for whatever the fuck takes place for the rest of the show. But Jesse, you are new to the show, so let me get you a little acclimated to the format here. You're not gonna be smoking weed, so I might not smoke this whole thing. I can just take this gram to the head. But we do a weekly segment here, comedy recap, and now having another comic here, I think this will be even more interesting.
Dope.
If you guys are fans of comedy, then you're in the right place. Like this whole channel, this whole podcast is all about bringing you behind the scenes of what it is to be a comedian on the come up in this day and age. We're on hard mode because we're a couple fucking colored boys in Canada, my nigga, doing comedy. So however hard that shit is, like multiply that by 1,000,000. But this is the comedy recap portion of the show. So I will recap along with Jesse the shows that we've done this past week. I'll start it off. I was supposed to do the Corner Comedy Club on Thursday. I had to cancel, unfortunately. I don't know. My throat was so rasp, bro, and it had been for a couple of days but I didn't feel sick, so I didn't know if I was sick or not.
Yeah.
And then it turns out it's just been really dry. Like, and then I had no humidifier going or anything like this. Like, I've been breathing dry fucking air.
That's what fucks you up, bro, especially during the wintertime.
Yeah, and I slept with the windows open. It's been a very warm winter, though.
Yeah.
Did you just pull up your calendar?
Yeah, I did.
I love you. That's the best. Yeah.
You said this.
Yo,
make sure.
that's me every week. Dante's like, how do you not remember? You just did a show like yesterday. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, shit changes all the time, bro.
But do you remember, like, because once it's done, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Are you good at remembering? Like, have you always been good with the calendar system? Have you always used it?
I had to start doing it because I would forget when I started getting booked more often, obviously. Before, it's like, obviously I would remember the show because I wasn't
like 1, 2.
Yeah, 1, 2 things. So I'm like, I know when to show up. But now it's like, fuck, I forgot I had 2 shows this night. Or I would rely on Instagram, and obviously that wasn't working no more. So I'm like, I needed the fucking calendar, bro.
Have you ever missed a corner show?
Once I was super close, but then I got a text message because
Show's canceled.
No. I got a
okay.
text message because I usually reshare the stories and I didn't reshare it. So like that's when the booker messaged me. He's like, "Yo, Jesse, you still coming through?" I was like, "Oh fuck, fam." I was like, and then I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on my way, bro."
Yo, sometimes I had to really learn quickly to not rely on those posts.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're bright and early right when you wake up and you just hit the repost.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're like a couple hours before the show. I'm like, oh shit.
So that fucked me up, bro. To stop relying on Instagram. Bro.
Let's see. So yeah, I wasn't able to do the corner on Thursday. I felt a lot better though. I just drank a bunch of tea, honey, ginger, lemon, all that shit. And I was able to make it to my Friday show. I was at Yuck Yucks Toronto. That show was fun as fuck. I don't even want to say names because I have no issue. Like, I actually love her to death. Like, we don't have an issue, but like a little, like the host of the show brought me up, and the way she explained it afterwards was like, I didn't remember what to say, but she brought me up as like, you know, this guy for Just for Laughs. Okay, I've done Just for Laughs, Toronto.
Yeah.
And then she's like, from Winnipeg Comedy Festival. I've never done that in my life. And so I just went up and I just made a little joke. I'm like, you might know me from Winnipeg Comedy Festival. I've never done that. The crowd laughed a little, like a little chuckle. It wasn't meant to be a big thing. But I think I hurt her feelings or something because she came up to me afterwards. She's like, don't ever tell the audience that you know that I was a lie, that the host is a liar because it makes you look like an asshole. Shit. I love her to death though. So yeah, that was just funny to me. The show was great overall. My set was fun. I'm working on some shit, but I don't know. I didn't really do it. Like, what is your ratio when you're doing a club show of new shit to old shit? Like,
Bro,
bangers.
that's always fucking. I always get conflicted sometimes about that, fam. Because like, for me, it's like when I'm doing a show in the weekend and it's a sold out room.
Yeah.
A part of me feels like as an artist, I want to further progress my material. I want to make sure I'm working on new shit so I have it. Like, so I know that it works.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I'm also like, these guys paid tickets to come watch a good show. So I think like what I'll try to do most of the time is start off with like my more like grade A material that I think works. I'll try to slide in new shit in the middle.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if it lands, it lands. And then if it doesn't, I know I could come back from it. But like sometimes it's like, yeah, sometimes I will bail and just be like, fuck it. I'll just give them the bangers. You know what I mean?
I was talking to, again, I think this was Norm at the show yesterday. But he was saying, we were talking about how like there's no mic scene really anymore.
No.
So it's a lot tougher to like, where do you, I was talking to Chris Robinson about this.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about the clubs and being signed with Yucks and all that stuff. It's like, well, where do you like practice your new jokes now?
Yeah.
He kind of, because there's no mic scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, do you find that difficult? Or have you found it difficult to work on as many new jokes as you used to be able to when we had that active, healthy mic scene where you could any night of the week?
Absolutely. But what I will also say to that too is that I think as you progress in this in the comedy game and in the level that we're at now too, it's harder to even find the time to just hit fucking mics. Because if you have booked shows throughout the week, it's like, yo, I don't have time to wait on a list for fucking 3 hours or whatever to do like 5 minutes or whatever.
And
so
the older you get too, like time is
there's so much other responsibilities you get on top of that. Mike, like running the open mic scene was like a whole different.
Do you remember that fucking like it was almost like itchy crack vibes, bro? Like just the list shows. I just stopped doing like the Ossington show.
Yeah.
Nigga, anytime they said come to the show, we put out a list at this time.
No one followed the list.
Bro, what's that fucking zombie movie, World War Z?
Yeah.
You know the poster where all the zombies are trying to climb the fucking mountain and they're climbing over each other? That's what list shows feel like to me.
Yeah,
like,
it was fucked.
And then everyone's looking for a pen. The smart niggas brought their own pen.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking
bro.
hated that shit.
Or you had
bro.
to bus from venue to venue just to sign up on all. That was the other thing, bro. That a lot of those fucking open mics weren't even walking distance from each other. You still had to hop on transit.
You would go to the Ossington, sign up for a later time, go do other shows, then come back. And then by the time you got back, you got to do your. But by the time you got back, there's nobody in the audience
no
anymore.
one left, bro.
So it was like a double-edged sword. It's like you can get a set in for nobody for sure, or you could get here early, do here, but then be late or can't do another show.
What I will say too, though, is that, but like that whole thing was a humbling experience, and it taught a different kind of discipline when it came to the art form. Because one thing I don't know if you've noticed this either, but after COVID, a lot of the newer comics that came in, and not to shit on these guys because some of them are incredible, but some of the younger comics that came in, there's like a weird sense of entitlement now. Cause like a lot of them will put on crazy shows. They're mastered the art of producing.
Yeah.
But no one's really working on their craft anymore.
Yeah.
But also there is no respect for that open mic trenches, bro. Cause it doesn't exist. Like you said.
Yeah.
Mans are doing sold out shows and they think they're hot shit, yet you're still bombing for fucking however long. You know what I mean?
And it does well when you're in front of your audience. But every time you step out of that zone,
that realm.
Like, and so, that's a very good point. Like, honestly, I wish I had my soundboard because I would be hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Because nigga, that's this whole podcast. What you just said is this whole podcast.
Oh fuck!
Like but actually, thank you for giving me that perspective shift because you're not wrong. I constantly forget because I'm so far removed from having to be like. I'm in the trenches and I'm in different trenches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're in different trenches now, but thankfully I'm not fucking doing the zombie horde. But there is no zombie horde anymore.
There is none.
So like that's a very fair point.
And it's also like there's mans that are like 6 months in that'll be like, yeah, my goal is to have a full hour special and record an album by the end of the year. I'm like, fam, you're barely a year in. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
To be fair though, that existed before too. Like
I think, but not to the
this
scale
extent.
though.
Yeah,
not to the
no.
scale, because now it's almost like everybody. Because now the crazy thing is these same people are also acting on it. Before, the people that were saying those things slowly got weeded out. You know what I mean?
G-check.
Yeah, because they realized, okay, it's not possible. But now it is hypothetically possible. You could go out, and if you knew how to do all that shit yourself, you can easily just put it out on the internet, no problem.
What shows did you do Thursday, Friday?
Thursday I had nothing. Yo, to be honest, like February, January was really quiet for me, dog. February shit started picking up. Now Thursday I didn't have
Snuck in
anything.
on that Black History Month, you Indian bastard.
I just started telling him, yo, bro, I grew up in Jenny Fitch. I was one of those guys. I had a lot of Jamaican friends.
That's so good. That's so good. Did you do any Friday?
Friday, I had a Real Jerk out on
I
College
saw
Street.
the pictures. I still haven't done Real Jerk, bro. That
Bro,
place actually, like, is it a venue? I thought it was a restaurant.
It's a restaurant, but downstairs they have like a venue
That's
for
where I keep seeing the
Yeah, it's
photos.
dope, bro.
It looks fire, bro.
It is fun. I will say though, I've had some tough fucking shows there too. But
Is it all black audiences?
it's always different, which is crazy. It depends because there's different producers, so it depends on
Okay.
who's producing the show. But
Okay.
Friday was banging, bro. They start like it was weird though, cause I was worried because I was closing it out.
Yeah.
But the show was supposed to start at 10, started mad late, started like 10:45 because it was
Niggas.
like an event before.
Niggas.
Yeah, an event before that ran late, and then it ended up running late. So people have been there already since like 9:30.
Yeah.
So like they're already tired, and I'm like, dog, I'm not gonna get up till 12 a.m. These guys are gonna be fucking checked out. But ended up going like really well. Like it was like super fun show. And then after that, I got on After Hours at Comedy Bar. So I did Real Jerk, closed it out, hopped on After Hours on the Friday, which was dope. Both of those sets were sick.
I haven't done After Hours in years, bro.
Yeah,
Who's booking that right now?
it's still Ian.
It's still Ian?
Yeah, but he never reaches out to me. Like I only get on based off of
Comics who's hosting?
Yeah, who's hosting.
That's pretty much
That's
it,
kind of it. You just show up, bro.
It's so odd, bro, because I don't like, not because I don't like it or anything. I just don't do a lot of the Comedy Bar shows.
Yeah.
But last week or the week before, I think all but one of my shows was in comedy. I was there every day. It was so weird. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think this has ever happened in my 13 years.
Yeah.
Being at Comedy Bar every day of the week, I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel weird.
Yeah, that's never, bro. That's never happened to me.
It was Black
bro.
History Month though, and one of the nights, like you could tell, like it was crazy weird because it was just me and all the black comics. Like we were just, and there was no. Oh, it was a big hockey game.
Yeah.
So all the white people indoors. But for Comedy Bar to be only black people, it's like
Unheard of.
It's like what's that nigga Jordan Peele movie, bro? It's like it's
Get
like
Out?
Get Out, but like the reverse Get Out.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like we took over the club, nigga. It's like- on Saturday, I ended up doing a weed dispensary grand opening. They ended up putting together a little comedy show for their grand opening. It's called Kindling. It's in Hamilton, Ontario. Shout out some respect to them. It's a great little shop on Locke Street.
That was with Norman, Chris
I
Robinson.
was with Norm
right?
and Chris
Yeah.
Robinson. Yeah. What a fucking hilarious time. Like, this is why budget matters.
Yeah.
This is why budget matters. This is what I'll say. Because if you had gotten any other crew of people like that weren't from at least our level
Yeah.
of skill,
Yeah.
it would have been a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because it's a dispensary. I keep letting this go out, bro. It's like a microphone. It's like a dispensary, obviously. So it's not a typical, like the lighting isn't going to be right and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
way they set up the seats, I actually really like the vibe that they set up in there.
Was it like theater type seating?
It was like, so it's like a rectangular room.
Yeah.
And let's say 1/4 of the front room by the window or
Yeah.
the back room
Yeah.
was like 15 seats. So 3 rows of 5. See, like folded
Yeah, yeah.
chairs. And then just a little standing space, and then the window behind us with like a ledge.
Oh, that's pretty blessed.
It was more than I was expecting for a
Yeah.
store.
Yeah.
I thought I'd be doing it in front of a cabinet or some shit, you know what I mean? But still, like, it needed a lot of people to make it feel like a thing. And thankfully, like, I think the least it had was like 6, and the most it had was like 10.
Were they a
People
fun
coming
crowd
in and
though?
out. It wasn't a full crowd. This is what
No,
I'm saying.
were they a fun crowd?
Yes,
Yeah,
100%. They were like, the people that were there were actively there to have
Yeah.
a good time, to check out the store, all this shit. But But this is what I'm saying. If it wasn't our skill level,
Yeah.
like I could imagine, bro. Like we're laughing in the back, like, and even at our level, bro, we're fucking up, like, because like Norm was connected to the Bluetooth because we had a fucking they rented a sound system, right? And this nigga was connected to the Bluetooth, so randomly in the middle of all their sets, just his fucking shit would start playing. You know what I mean? People walking in the store, bing, boom.
Oh
Just
my
people yelling
gosh.
from the streets behind us. A lot of factors. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So you had to switch up. You know what I mean? Can you recall a moment like this? I'm sure you have a ton, but like
Bro, that
recently?
happens to me like fuck. I think like the Real Jerk was probably one of those moments. Cause
Wait,
like
really?
because it was one of those moments where it was like the crowd is already tired and like the show was going long and like I don't want to like not to shit on anyone that was on the show. It was an obstacle because like it was like tough, right? Like so like to get people back. So I think like there was a part of me when I had to go up, I had to like work the room a bit to get them back on our side, right? Kind of talk to people, address some shit in the audience or like some of the content. Cause you know, also if it's like a Caribbean show, there wasn't too many Caribbean people there, but it was still like a younger crowd. So like, and like people are going up and it's a Caribbean restaurant. So like if you're going up talking about dicks and cum, there's only so much.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so at some point you're gonna have to be like, all right, we gotta switch gears out of this. You know what I mean? But Real Jerk was a dope show. And again, it was one of those things that was full.
Yeah.
But like I'm trying to think of like I sometimes the corners like that, bro, on weeknights. When
Yeah,
there's
on a
like 4 or
weeknight.
5 people, but they can also be the best of fucking shows, fam.
To be honest, bro, I don't think I've had a bad experience at the corner.
Never.
I
Yeah,
don't
never.
think I've had a
Even
bad-
if it was
with
a small crowd.
bro. Even with small crowds, because this is just like when you have a room like that. Like another room that I can even closely remember that resembles it would be like Underground.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember how Underground used
Yeah,
to be,
yeah, yeah.
like low ceilings. It was dark, bro. It was like you
Yeah.
were in space.
Yeah.
Pitch black, low ceilings. Everybody kind of felt like they were huddled in together, but they were still separated. You like it was that and that's the kind of vibe that you get at the corner.
But going back to your point, imagine doing that room like 5 people at a club when you're like 2 years in. It's gonna be
yeah.
different, right? You know what I mean? There is still a
Oh, you're
difference.
bro, I was gonna feel like you're in an auditorium.
Yeah, it's gonna be like you're in hell, bro. Like you're like this is a hell
Hello.
room.
just tapping the mic.
Yeah. Either that or you buckle and say the most craziest shit that comes to your mind just to see if it sticks. Like I've seen that too. Like I've seen mans that are nervous, but rather than like being nervous, they just turn on the audience, which is my biggest pet peeve. I fucking hate that, bro. That's like if like I'm not no one to give comedy advice, but when man's first reaction is to be like, oh, fuck you guys are cucks, you don't get it. And it's like, dog, you've been talking about jerking off to your mom for the last 15 minutes.
That's so
And you're thinking it's the crowd's fault. Like, fuck out of here, bro. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, what show are you doing tonight?
Oh, tonight I'm opening up for Habib. Shout out to Habib.
Oh, you're doing a Habib show.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
He's the homie still.
Oh, you
so-
can't be late.
No, I can't be late, bro.
Yeah, we'll get you out of here soon enough.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
actually, before we move on to the next segment, me and this nigga right here, me and Jesse are producing a show in a bodega. It's gonna be called Chop Cheese Comedy. You have the address?
Yeah,
Okay.
March 23rd at 684 College Street in Toronto. So make sure you guys show up. Chop Cheese Comedy.
What's the name of the shop?
The Greenhouse.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dog Greenhouse.
Duh,
DA.
Greenhouse.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. Wait, was it? No, like no. DA Greenhouse on Instagram. We'll have more info soon.
Yeah.
But we are starting a show. It's going to be a very different show. It's in a bodega. So we're very much going to be in line with that vibe and theme for
Yeah,
the show.
definitely.
We're going to be chopping it up every month with different themes and different subjects. It'll be mostly me and Jesse, but then we'll bring in our friends to round out the show.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that if you're in the Toronto area and listening to the podcast. One more
Hence-
time, where can they find you?
Oh, on Instagram at the Punjabi Timbit.
If you're not Canadian, Timbits are the fucking little donut.
Donut.
Yeah. Little.
Apparently they're donut holes.
That's what yeah. Oh, I think that's the fuck. I don't know. Are they actually?
I don't know,
Because
but
isn't it all just dough, molded dough? Like it's. you know.
Yeah, I don't think they pop out the
They
whole
don't pop
of
out
it.
a
Yeah, I
whole
think they
of a
just
donut.
make
They
it.
make it a ring.
Because that would be kind of
This is one
fucking.
of the
That would be
dumbest
kind of
conversations
retarded
ever.
if they imagine what were they doing before Timbits? Were they just making a donut then throwing away the round ball, and then someone's like, "Yo, I have an idea. Why don't we just fucking sell these?"
How am I the only one smoking weed? All right, that was the comedy recap for this week. Let's move on to the next segment. Let's talk about some comedy news. Some shit dropped this week. One of my favorite comedians ever. He's been represented on the wall of this podcast since we moved into this studio, at least. Mike Epps, Daddy.
Shout out to Mike Epps.
This nigga is an absolute legend. OG did it by himself. Essentially, did it in the industry, but kind of outside the industry. And he's always been respected for that. But he's been getting some controversy over, or not controversy, but backlash. People have been doo-dooing on his new comedy special. Mike Epps, Ready to Sell Out, just dropped on Netflix. I knew Jesse was coming into the studio. I just watched it. I watched it twice because I watched it and I wasn't really paying attention the first time. And then I started hearing that people were shitting on it. Then I saw that Mike Epps actually put out like a response video and people were fucking shitting on him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, not like he's like, thank you to all the people that like he mostly was talking to people that were loving on it, but then he
Yeah.
mentioned at the end is like, and yo, fuck y'all the haters, man.
Oh, okay.
So people are like, man, it's obviously getting too much shit. But I wanted to get Jesse to watch it so we can kind of do a little review.
Yeah.
I think the last comedy special we reviewed on the podcast was the Chappelle special. So I'd like to do more of that shit. So
Yo,
I know
what
you didn't watch it all.
what did you think of the Chappelle thing?
His last special,
Yeah.
I gave it a 3.5.
Dreamer 3.5 out of 10 or 5?
5.
3.5 out of
Yeah.
5. Okay.
Yeah. It was like for Chappelle.
Yeah.
And this is the same argument I gave then, but like I'm not even saying that it was a lazy special or anything like that, but he has a lot stronger specials.
Yeah.
And like the stuff that resonates with me mostly is kind of the off the beaten path shit, like the Bird Revelation of all his Netflix comedy specials.
I love that one.
Bird Revelation is my favorite one.
Yeah. That one was
Because
great.
it's just the belly room. I think I've talked about it on this
Yeah.
podcast like fucking 80 times just this season alone.
Yeah.
But it's like just Chappelle in the belly room on a stool smoking a cigarette.
It's just raw.
And it's 30 people, and he's talking about fucking Weinstein and the industry and why
Yeah.
he left, and talking about the book Pimp, and like, bro, like that's resonated with me. And then he's
Yeah.
talking about like you have an obligation to fucking speak recklessly. Like I don't want my children to grow up in a world like
Yeah.
just
All of that.
yeah, all of that shit. I know you didn't watch the full Mike Epps special.
No, I didn't.
You
But
watched the second half.
I tried to get caught up literally right before coming to the fucking pod, fam.
So how much of a fan of Mike Epps are you?
I wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't like a huge fan, but I loved like I loved his movie appearances more than his stand up that I've seen
That
of
makes
his.
sense.
To be
Most
honest,
people
like
I would
in
say
Friday, bro, he's probably one of my favorite characters when he was playing Day
Friday?
Day. Yeah. So funny, bro.
This is autographed by Mike Epps. My homie got it from me, but he did some sort of weed collab with Cookies in the States. So this is like they named the strain
That was
Day Day,
hard.
and they fucking got this like. But he opened a comedy club. We should go
I saw that. Yeah,
in
yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah, I
of
saw
all
that.
places, he's not even from Detroit.
Which is
Like,
right off
I think he was
across the
selling
border, bro.
coke in Detroit when he was young. Like what a reason to go back.
Yeah,
But we should definitely go.
I'd be down, bro.
A little road
100%.
trip and try and do some. We should plot some shit in Windsor.
Yeah,
And then just go across the border
fam.
and go check out open mic. So of the half of the special that you saw, it's so weird, bro. Like, and like to watch the second half.
I was watching the first half, but I'm like, I was just stuff that I've heard. It's stuff that like you would expect him to talk about, right? Like the fucking
Subject matter that
subject matter. So I just wanted to hear in this. Usually the second half of the special is when he starts getting into the anyone starts getting into the more nitty gritty shit. That's why I'm like, let me watch the second half, see how he ends this
That's
thing.
fair.
You know what I mean?
I
Like-
can't even ask you for your rating though. Like,
Yeah, I know.
feel
I
like
can't
that's
rate
not
the
fair. Yeah,
second
you can't.
half of the.
I mean, what would you rate the second?
If you're watching it as a standalone Mike Epps special,
Yeah.
you get what you're gonna like. You get what you expected to get. So I would give it a 3. You know what I mean? But if you're looking at it from a comedy special overall, I would just give it like a 2.5.
I like that separation.
Yeah,
I like that
because
separation.
the way I viewed it was I was talking about the Chappelle thing with someone, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Yo, he's one of my favorite comics of all time." You know what I mean? For me.
Mhm.
But when I watched Dreamer, I was like, "This is whack." Like I hated it, bro. And then when I was talking to
You
someone,
hated it
yeah, I didn't like it at all.
all the way through.
There was like one or two moments I chuckled, but I'm like, I thought the Andy Kaufman shit was funny. Like,
That was funny to me, 'cause, like I'm a Kaufman fanatic.
yeah,
bro.
I thought that
talked
was
about him.
hilarious. But like, I was talking to someone and I'm like, yo, I didn't like the special. But they're like, did you not like it because you're comparing Chappelle to Chappelle? Or did you not like it because you're comparing Chappelle to stand up? And those are two different like distinctions. Because when I was watching the special, I was like, yo, this doesn't hold up to Bird Revelation. This doesn't hold up to Killing Him Softly. Nothing holds up to Killing Him Softly or like For What It's Worth.
Yeah.
You know, but then those are two completely different things.
Would you say they still stand up? Or
For
is
What
that
It's
more
Worth and
nostalgic?
Killing Him Softly?
Yeah. Have you gone back and watched them recently?
I think they hold up, bro.
I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that, like, I don't know, like, I don't know how many times I could listen to the Sesame Street. And again, these are still like the jokes.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fucking diminish the quality of the jokes because there's like.
But for its time, I see what
for
you're
its time,
saying.
you
For
know
its
what I
time,
mean?
it was crazy. Like,
do
bro,
you find that they're timeless? Like, I can go back and watch Eddie Murphy's Raw, and that's from like the 80s.
but I
70s.
was actually gonna say that. I was gonna say I
That's
don't.
not.
That's not timeless.
But that's okay. I guess socially it's not, but for me it is.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like he's like, oh fuck,
Love you, Eddie. Shut up, bitch.
shut up, it. I think Patrice O'Neal special is timeless.
Elephant in the room, bro. Bam, right here.
Crazy.
Right here. Yeah, like, yeah, this feels pretty timeless.
Yeah,
I would say this is a timeless one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You definitely need the time to pass. Cause I get caught up and be like, yo, this is fucking fire. And then you watch it 80 times. Like some of Katt Williams stuff, timeless, bro.
Yeah.
Like I would say Pimp Chronicles, it's
It's
Pimpin',
one of my
Pimpin'.
favorite. My favorite.
Like
fucking-
it's Pimpin', right? Where he has his fingers to his temple, I think, and it's written across his forehead.
which one's the green?
Think Tank.
Which one's the one where he's wearing the green?
That's
suit?
Pimp Chronicles Part 1.
Yeah, that one's. I love that one
Timeless.
too, bro.
Like,
when he's
both
talking
of
about
those
Michael
just-
Jackson.
Like what the fuck? Bro?
How you
Like,
saying you Muslim? You got a white woman pork face.
So I'm trying to create one of those, bro. I know, even though like I'm very proud of my first comedy special, it's not a timeless special.
Yeah,
in my eyes.
I get. What you're
Maybe
saying.
that's because I spent all that time editing and shit. I should let the people decide. Even just saying that, now I put that. This album sucks.
Yeah.
Why I'm unsubscribing. Get to 1,000. No, it's a fucking good, bro. It's my first 11 years worth of jokes, polished up,
Yeah.
and burnt. All right, in comedy terms, I got rid of those fucking jokes, so I never have to tell them again. But it's a good thing to do.
What did you think of Mike Epps special?
I really, again, I'm an Epps fan, so I'm coming with a little bit of bias, so I'll say that up front. But I enjoyed it. But I
Yeah.
went in knowing it's like what to expect.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, underrated, never faded is probably top 5 comedy specials for me. When that to me personally is a timeless special. I think you have to be on the end of black culture. I watched it like with a bunch of my friends and some of my white friends that I didn't really grow up with like black people.
Yeah, they didn't get
They
it.
don't really get it. So it's like, so I think you gotta I think that's a factor.
Yeah.
But underrated, never faded, bro. Him in that shiny silver jacket in Detroit. He actually filmed it in Detroit. Dougie Fresh fucking opening up for him. Like, I must have watched that before I started comedy. Like, not before I started comedy. Like, at the very beginning, like maybe the first 6 months. Like, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And Mike, really watching him taught me to use more of my, like, be more of myself on stage.
Yeah.
What he does immaculately is blend his acting abilities into his comedy world, bro. Nobody tells a story and shows it
Yeah.
more masterfully than Epps.
Like his
bro.
act outs, his expression.
His
Yeah.
act outs are immaculate, bro.
Yeah.
Because he's an
I can
actual
agree with that.
good actor. So that's what always stood out. So like, I would also agree. I would say like, in terms of comparing it to other Mike Epps specials, like this would actually probably be 2.5, 3
Yeah.
out of 5 for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it deserves all this fucking backlash that it's getting. Like, here's one article. Mike Epps ready to sell out review. Netflix special that is as bland as a piece of cardboard. Holy shit. Who wrote this article? Oh, it's a Majunder, so it's not a white person, so I'll give him that. Go to Google Images and search with the keyword Michael Scott poker face, and you'll know exactly how I felt watching Mike Epps ready to sell out on Netflix. I mean, to save you the trouble, I'm going to tell you right away that it's unimaginably unfunny and to a great extent problematic. Oh, here we go.
Problematic as in
What,
controversial.
woke shit? But the Michael Scott face is the perfect pictorial description of the whole thing. Excuse me for the Office reference. Go fuck yourself. Let me put things further into perspective here. Years ago, I went to go see a stand-up show. A friend of mine invited me there and was supposed to perform along with a lot of other budding stand-up comedians. Anyways, my friend got cold feet and couldn't perform, and he never went that way, career-wise. The other did, and they all tried their best, but it was mostly mellow. Then came the surprise as an established name I sadly don't remember, otherwise I would have named, took the stage, and the crowd suddenly came alive. They started to laugh loudly at every joke and popular guy was telling. Now the thing is, those were as unfunny as the jokes the amateurs were telling before.
I kind of see what the man's trying to say.
Yeah, here's a profound example. This guy asked somebody from the crowd what they did. The person humbly replied that it was just an 8 to 8 job. The comedian asked the question back as if he couldn't hear the answer. The guy obliged again, and this time the comedian pretended to hear hate to hate instead of 8 to 8 and made a desperate attempt to roast the guy instead.
Jeez.
The reason I brought this up here is because Mike Epps' comedy special reminded me of the irritation I felt during the evening. I got through it only because I could comfort myself by telling myself this is that this is after all a work thing and I'm going to get paid to sit through it. My apologies for probably being too harsh. Comedy is a very unique kind of thing that could be perceived in a lot of ways. Blah, 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 blah. Epps began with da-da-da-da. Let's see. Nothing could save Mike Epps. Ready to sell out after that. Wait, let's see what he... Okay, let me see what this is. It was a good move, but then Epps decided to brag about never missing a child support payment. I remember. Did you hear that joke?
Yeah.
He's been paying child support since he was 17, never missed a payment. And then whine about spreading his genes way too much and putting into people who apparently don't deserve, quote unquote, that.
But that was the joke.
If you know what I
bro.
mean? Sure, it was all in good humor, but who does this man think he is really? Okay, now I'm out.
Yeah, now
Now you're
yeah.
actually... What? Who wrote this? Let's expose this fucking bitch. Yeah, yeah, you won't look like that, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
And this is not. Sorry. Nigga in the room is Indian. I'm about to break out into an apu. Oh my god, yeah, that's so good.
Bro, I'll do it for you. This is not what I wanted to see.
Thank you. So that way I don't get canceled.
No,
this nigga's ready to write up an article about me. Fuck this guy, bro. What is with this weird ass culture, bro?
Yeah, that was okay. That line was crazy to me.
That's
like,
not the way to have that take. Like,
because that was the joke, bro.
Yeah.
The whole he was playing like he was obviously amplifying that whole thing as the humor. So like for someone to take it literal, why would you write about comedy if you don't know comedy?
that's what most, bro. There's an epidemic because as comedy started to get more popular, and obviously social media is what it is.
Yeah.
There's an epidemic of people talking about everything that they're not actually affiliated with.
It's crazy.
That
Bro,
they've never participated in, that they've never even fucking set foot in.
Fam, I have a joke. You probably heard the joke. I have a joke, the story where I talk about working at a daycare center for kids who have special needs.
Yeah.
Every time I do the
Which
joke,
you actually do.
which I did, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Every time I tell that joke, there's people that come up to me after who have kids with special needs, relatives, siblings, whatever it is, and that's their favorite fucking bit. Because the bit is basically talking about how like, yo, people pity them and stuff, and I'm like, yo, they're regular kids. They just need different form of support. But because of that, they're also dickheads. Like, you know what I mean? Kids are dickheads, so they can also be a dickhead, and like all those people that have some kind of affiliation love the joke because they're like, yo, I can't even tell this to people because they think I'm being a bitch or whatever. But like, thank you for sharing that. But it's the people that have no affiliation that are like, you can't
stand up.
Yeah, you can't talk about. I'm not
How
even making.
dare you?
Yeah,
You're punching down.
and I'm like, I'm not even making fun of them, bro. Listen to the story.
I'll punch you in your fucking. Oh my god, bro. You know, I think the lesson that stood out for me the hardest in this respect in comedy was maybe the first like 3-4 years of me doing comedy in Hamilton. I think it was still the Yuck Yucks in Hamilton. There was a blind guy in the crowd, and I made a blind joke, and the crowd went, But then it's like the blind guy's laughing.
Yeah.
After the show, the blind guy and his support, they walk up to me. He's like, bro, thank you. Da-da-da. Thank you for including him. Nobody ever. And they literally said, like, you just made it normal. Like, that's.
Yeah, don't make it weird.
Don't make it weird, bro. We're in a comedy club. So guess what? They are too. They also get the context. Like, people think because you have a disability that you're fucking mentally like you can't comprehend things. And that's your own bias, you fucking weirdo.
Fam, when I was working at this daycare center, there was a kid with Down syndrome and he loved Coke. Not like fucking Coca-Cola. He loved it.
Original recipe.
Yeah, original recipe, bro. He loved it. So like he would go to the mall and he would tell people, like customers and shit, that like he wasn't getting fed at home. Like he would pretend to be like, yo, I'm like a kid in need. They would give him money and he would go out and just buy Coke for himself. But like that, none of that was true. His family was feeding him. Everything was blessed.
Of course.
He just loved fucking Coke. And he also knew, bro. He's like, because I have a disability, these guys are going to feel bad for me.
Yeah, let's go. He
You know what I
manipulated
mean?
him.
Yeah, but he knew. So it's like
This
that
nigga needs to be playing poker, bro.
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, like it's wrong for us to fucking put like as a human being, we all have the freedom to make mistakes, fuck up, have vices and virtues, right? Be at times hurt other people, but also know how to love other people.
Yeah.
So why are we taking away that privilege from someone just because we assume they have a disability, they don't know better? That's not true. You're
true at all.
dehumanizing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. It's and it's like a cultural thing. Obviously,
crazy.
You know what I mean? Like you taking all these images your entire life and then you don't check yourself and you don't actually unlearn a bunch of shit. Unlearn? Now this is a woke podcast. Are you unlearning? Fuck. I make myself vomit. But yeah, that was the Mike Epps comedy special. We'll quickly I want to talk about how Katt Williams was just on the Joe Rogan podcast. Which I kind of feel like I'm hearing a bunch of different like people's reactions to this. And I some of them I kind of agree with. It's like it's almost like Joe was kind of subtly forced, you know, to like it's
to
almost
bring
like
him on.
To bring him on. The way Katt kind of attacked him and his whole crew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When Joe has vocally been like, I like Katt Williams in the past and all that shit. He's saying Joe doesn't want me on his podcast. He has 6 unfunny comedians he has to promote.
Oh shit, I remember that. Yeah.
So I don't even really want to because this is Joe Rogan podcast. This nigga has all the promo in the world.
Yeah. What
What I do want to mention though, because you didn't watch it, right?
No.
But you saw the Shay Shay?
Yeah, I saw the
Shay Shay. Gay. So when he was on there, he was talking about how Joe Rogan carries a crew of unfunny comics that he's like built around like Brendan Schaub and like Bert Kreischer and fucking all these guys.
Yeah.
That a lot you're like, yeah, these are my opinions. Not
No, I've never even listened to them.
Exactly. Let me take my shirt off. Fucking what? So after saying all the shit that Katt said, for him to go on the Joe Rogan podcast and for it to be this, like for the majority of the podcast, kind of made me upset. Oh wait, let me actually because Dante's not here this week, I gotta remember to do that. And bam, and now we got video. Like this, like natural.
Right.
Look at the weed smoke, by the way, from the corner of Katt.
It's a skincare product.
Like, look how high these guys are. This is skincare product, flavor profile.
That makes sense.
And that. Yo, please tell me you saw Joe's 1,000-yard stare, bro.
Right.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
It was that for 3 hours, and they did not one time bring up the motherfucking shit that Katt said, bro. What? Like, that to me is almost like, was it scripted? You know, like...
Fam, that looks like they're sleeping, bro.
Well, they were high when it started. And they were smoking the entire time, bro. Like, Katt was just like I was doing this episode, but like this is just a regular 1 gram joint.
Yeah.
Katt was smoking a blunt, and then I think another blunt, and then I think another blunt, which is fine. But then like
you're comatose the whole fucking
bro.
fam.
And they were just talking about alien. Like it was like literally Like Joe Rogan Experience highlights, like every like aliens, conspiracies, all that shit. But then they never once brought up the fact that Katt said your crew is unfunny, bro.
So there was no groundbreaking shit
Nothing
for 3 hours.
for 3 hours. It was them getting high and just talk about rocks and aliens.
Nah, that's
and-
fucked, bro. I'm
Like-
kind of like disappointed at the fact that I would have thought that Katt would have brought it up, even if Joe
the
didn't.
fact that like the thing was though, because you didn't see it, like they were obviously being very cordial. You know, they were being very respectful.
Yeah.
You could tell, like they said, they've never met each other before, so this is the first time they met, and obviously it's probably awkward because the first time you
Matt
meet
aired
him,
him
you just-
out.
yeah, man's bashing your whole
Yeah.
crew. But it's like
But I think there still is a way to do that.
respectfully,
Yeah, without disrespect. Not
It's like okay, so
Be like,
obviously
yo.
we got to bring it up.
yeah.
You had this podcast, it went viral. You said that all my friends are not good comedians.
Yeah.
You're mostly right. Maybe, and this is my own backwards
Just poke
conspiracy
a fun,
theory.
right?
Maybe Joe didn't bring it up because he agrees.
But even if he did, you could still poke fun at it.
Of
You know
course,
what I mean?
He's
And then
like, you
also
know,
bring
Brent
it up.
does take his shirt off. all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
You know, I did tell Brendan Schaub to
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
fighting and do comedy. Which,
Yeah.
look, Joe should just apologize to the world for that. Just apologize to the world for Brendan Schaub, and I think you'll win a lot of goodwill back from the people that.
How did people react to the podcast?
People love it. Yo, let's look at the comments right now, bro. People fucking love it. What are you talking about?
They
It's-
loved it?
I believe so. From what I remember, where are the comment section? Like, why can't I see?
I don't know. That's why YouTube's fucking crazy.
There it is. Okay. It's just a marijuana talk, Joseph. Katt Williams is the best at delivery. Katt Williams just needs to go on a podcast tour at this point. Every mic he touches turns to gold. Like, honestly, this was not a good podcast. Bro, what are you talking about? Katt's trying to dodge assassination attempts in each sentence. That's hilarious. Shannon Sharp making everybody want to interview Katt Williams. That's true.
That is facts.
Let me just scroll down a little bit. See if we can find one negative. Not people. Okay, what's this? Not people figure out. Something is there to be figured out. Katt, you, sir, just unlocked
Oh
my
my
mind on so many levels. Not people figure out. Something is there to be figured out. Okay. Whatever that quote means. I guess that unlocked something in your mind. Or was that sarcastic? On 1 hour, 58 minutes, the Katt Williams wanted to explain is called Abrahamic religions. Yes. Okay. I remember that part. Anyways, like, damn, I just expected a lot more.
Yeah.
I expected a lot more. So I'm kind of whatever. But go check that out if you're into that. That is the comedy recap. That is comedy news for this week. Let's get into the final segment for this episode. Jesse has to get the fuck on out of here, but this is something we do every week, so I want to get Jesse's take on it before he leaves.
Yes, sir.
If you guys are new to the podcast, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, beautiful people. This segment is called Poll Results. Every Monday on my Instagram social media feed and now on the community page on the YouTube channel, I post an interactive poll question. We leave it up for 24 hours on Instagram and for the entire week on YouTube. You guys vote on the results, and then we discuss the results here on the podcast every week. This week's poll question: what type of person are you? And the options were up early, sleep in, or insomniac. Really simple poll this week. Didn't want to make it. I've been giving everybody such heavy questions, bro, which I kind of like, and everybody's been really digging. But just a little more lighthearted.
Light one.
But before we get to the results, how do you vote on this one?
Fuck. I don't know why this one,
Is
like,
it tough
cause
for you?
not tough, but like I would love to be fucking up early. That's the thing. But I end up tending to sleep in. But that's just because of our job too. Like, fam, I work full time. Plus, I'm doing
Yeah.
comedy full time in the evening.
Yeah.
So it's like you end up working like late in the night, and then you can't fall asleep. You're amped up from the fucking
you smoke too late.
or you're also amped up from the show. Like, you just did the show, you still like you're awake. You're thinking about bits and shit all night.
I
Then
see
you
what you're
end up
saying, yeah.
fucking. You know what I mean? But if
Ideally, you would like to be an up early person.
Yes.
How long ago were you an up early person?
before comedy. Or like
10 years ago.
Yeah, fam. Or even when during COVID, because there was basically no stand-up happening during the lockdown. So like during that time, yeah, bro, I was like on a like a pretty good regimen. It was
Every
like
cell in your body has completely regenerated.
yeah, it was a reset, bro, which was fucking wild, fam. And like sometimes I feel like I need that, like just a reset, just to put pause,
Yeah.
and just come back. And I think that's what was huge for me when me and you talked about it. When you took like you're not like a full absence, but just your time away to reset for like the 2 years and then come back with a clearer mindset.
And even, like reset might not be the best because I was active on there.
Yeah.
I think that's when I really went like, I don't give a fuck. Let me just try whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like coming out of it now, I'm like, I'm so grateful I did that. Cause that's just like comedy. Like, bro, we rush into like this is why social media trends are a thing. If you really think about how people work, bro, like something catches traction. It's like black people running. You know that you know the meme or the joke that is like one black person starts running, all of them
Everybody start running.
But it's like that's kind of how social media is, bro. One thing catches traction, and then you just want to be part of the wave.
Yeah.
So you just jump on. Oh, I just got to be part of the wave. Oh, first comment. Like everybody has to be first or a part of that initial wave.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you're kind of whack, bro. Like unless you're the person that started the wave.
Yeah.
You fucking weak mental bitches. It sickens me, bro. Everybody wants to be, I joined the trend. You fucking, you're the reason why the earth is burning, my nigga. Because you joined the trend. Be your own trend. Have the balls to fuck, or the vagina, whatever the fuck, nigga, or the they, them, nigga, whatever the fuck, bro. Whatever you identify with, a whale, whatever. Go chill and just figure out what you do good and don't worry about the other shit. And then eventually other people will see that and be like, yo, that person's doing something that they do good. And then they'll try to join the wave. But like, be better than that, bro. Everybody who's subscribed to this shit, I want you to be inspired by whatever the fuck we talk about here so that you go and do whatever, if it's comedy or whatever. Know the obstacles and just fucking, and just try, bro. Just try to be the best you. All right, enough with the woke shit. The woke podcast. So you would say you sleep in, though? You identify as sleep in?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm definitely an up early person, which is funny, too, because I will sleep in on occasion, but I'm up early and sleep late. But I still get my sleep.
Are you up early because of your, like, say if you...
No.
You're just up early.
I love, and I didn't used to be like this. I used to be a sleeping person, but something about when I really started to understand, holy fuck, the amount of hours that I was missing in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, if you get your day started early, you actually get that time that you feel like is missing.
Yeah, 100%.
And even still now, I'm like, damn, man, where's all the time? Because it's like now I'm starting to maximize all my time. But before, I was only getting like so many hours in light.
How like on average, how many hours do you think you sleep?
Minimum 6.5, 7.
And that's enough.
That's enough, 100%. My body like peak performance.
Damn, man.
I don't know, like, and I eat well. I take naps.
Yeah.
Naps are probably the secret weapon.
It is, bro. 100%.
Naps are the secret, especially as a comedian, bro. It's like, shit, bro, you gotta take naps.
Yeah.
Like, if I work an 8-hour shift, and I have a late show, I'll take an hour nap in between.
Yeah.
And just rest my body because I love
necessary,
myself.
It's necessary, bro.
I love myself. All right, let's get to the results here.
Shit.
So once again, what type of person are you? The options were up early, sleep in, or insomniac. The results are, of course, I fucked it up. This is me yelling at Dante. Dante, I need the results right now. Okay, so 32% said up early, 44% said sleep in, and 24% said insomniac. I love you, insomniacs. I wish you well. God damn, it's got to be tough. Because there's a lot of insomnia. I know a lot of people that
just don't
trouble
sleep,
sleeping, that have like fucking sleep issues, like nightmare issues. Like I know a lot of people with. It's really interesting, bro. Like I'm grateful that I don't deal with that, I guess, but 44% of the people said sleep in, that makes sense. Like, why the fuck wouldn't you want to sleep in?
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any YouTube results before we get out of here. You know what? Fuck it. I can't see the thing. So fuck it. The YouTube results, thank you. I appreciate y'all. There are results. And maybe at the beginning of next week, I'll just quickly recap them. But I appreciate you, and we will mention you again. Hit the results on the YouTube. What a terrible fucking promotion for this. But I think this is a good place to wrap up. What a great episode. I'm very happy. I had a dear friend of mine, a comedian.
Thank you, bro.
More in line with what the show is. Jesse Singh, once again, where can the people find you online and what do you want to promote?
Instagram at the Punjabi Timbit, debut comedy album out now, all streaming platforms. It's called Baby Goat, and a short film out, Tales from the Mendem, that you can stream on YouTube. Make sure you guys run the numbers up, check it out, leave a comment, all that good shit.
I'll take a snippet from Tales from the Mandem and put it at the beginning of this episode,
dope,
and then
bro.
I'll put the
Thank
link.
you.
I'll put the link to that Tales from the Mandem in the description. Definitely go check it out. It's a short film, so it's not even that long, but it's fucking immaculately
Thank you,
shot.
bro.
Like it's high production quality and it's fucking hilarious. If you've ever heard of the Toronto Mandem accent, like this is for you.
Yeah.
Yo, Randa, fam. I am AKA Black Zeus on all social media. I appreciate y'all. We are here every Wednesday with a new episode. New comedy videos all throughout the week on the YouTube. The Patreon is up and running if you want to support. My comedy special is available right now for $10. You can either become a patron or you can buy it for $10 outright. Once again, hit the subscribe button if you want it for free, because once we get to 1,000 subs on YouTube, we drop it for free, and we just keep moving forward. We got a Black Zeus to show, which will be starting in about a month. I'm very excited to be telling you more about that. Me and Jesse are going to be running a show, Chop Cheese Comedy, in Toronto, March 23rd.
March 23rd.
March 23rd, bam. At the Greenhouse, which is a bodega in Toronto, is going to be fucking vibes. And a limited seating. Definitely got to mention that part.
Please.
So, yeah, be on the lookout. But until then, I love y'all. Stay tuned. Be blessed. Peace, peace.
Hey yo, it's Black Zeus, the podcast, season 5. Welcome to the show where we talk about life, talk about the come up, and sometimes we fight. But in the end, it ain't a thing, cause we ain't trying to be right. We're just old new niggas with another podcast.
This is Black Zeus, the podcast, season 5.
Boom, 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 boom.